I'm here in Mount Hope, down the street from my house. Train just crossed that bridge a few minutes ago, so I won't be filming here. I did catch it crossing Main Street though. In fact, I get a lot of my train videos there. I just want to show more the right of way to White Oak Railway, where the two rail lines crossed at one time in the rail diamond. That'll be interesting to show that. Then we'll try to show a few more things that you can't see, that you normally can't see in the summertime. But right here's the rail diamond where the two tracks used to cross. Yeah, a lot of this is new. At one time the other track went straight across there. And there's a bridge where another track used to split up. There's a switch over here. Hey, the railbed's still over there. It's actually right along, right between on the other side of Circle Creek. So for a distance, there's tracks on both sides of Circle Creek here, because that's Circle Creek there. Dumble Creek's the one that flows underneath the bridge there. But for a short distance, there's tracks on both sides, and then there's the junction switch up here. I'll have to plan on doing more walking the tracks early in the morning to take that train up. I don't know. But there's that concrete railroad bridge. Still there after all these years. There probably hasn't been a train crossed it in a few decades. I think that track was removed in the, I don't know, early 1980s. This track is still being used in the 1970s because CSX system used to use that as a side track. On Virginia Street, there was a bridge that crossed over Virginia Street and came here, but most of that from Virginia Street to Glens Inn was moved up. We moved in the late 1950s. But this stretch, I think they used as a side track. They bring like empty coal trains that would come up across there and set here and wait on low coal trains to come down, and then they go out on. Of course, by the late 1970s, train traffic had decreased enough where they didn't need to do that anymore. But right up there is the bridge abutments where the Nunner Bridge used to cross, because you got the White Oak Railway up there. That one track used to cross to connect to another track here towards the rail yard, and then you had another line that crossed over there. Then you had the one line here was across that stone bridge. It's just interesting. All these rail lines used to be just down the street from my house. Just here in Mount Hope alone, there's a lot of abandoned rail lines, old railroad right-of-ways. Just Mount Hope alone. There's a lot in Thurman and Prince too. It's amazing what you see in Thurman and Prince. Now farther up here is another line. I'm going to try to follow a little bit of it, because I had a video on my old YouTube, which I can't get my old YouTube anymore. But that's the railbed. I think the last time I was up here, the train came, and I was trying to get downtown to film the train, but I don't think I got downtown to film it, because I got here a little ways from the tracks. I've got to be careful where I step. Over there is private property. So, over here's the actual railroad right away. And back behind me, it goes to somebody's backyard now, but CSX actually still owns this. So where that guy puts the stuff up to where a bridge used to cross, CSX still owns it. Of course, where the apartment complex is, CSX no longer owns that. I don't know why they keep this little piece, considering they sold the rest of it off to individual people like owners. But this is that deep rail cut. I think I was telling some friends about this. Down below the grade school playground, Thornbus. That was painful. Right up there's the old Mount Hope Elementary School, which is no longer open. They had Thanksgiving dinner there the other day. I got to go. It's nice. But I say most people don't know that deep rail cut's there. I didn't know this was here most of my life until about many years ago. I happened to wander back here and explore this. I knew the rail line used to be here, but what I did not know was the deep rail cut. even though I knew the rail line was here. I never really explored and realized how deep the actual rail cut is. It's funny, until a couple years ago I never really walked up here and looked. Now this dress was removed sometime in the mid-1980s. The early 1980s, I think. I mean, I believe if memory serves me right, like 1983 from what I've been told. I was born in 85, so I would have been 2 years old when they, actually I was probably 2 years old when they removed the axle bridge, but 2 years before I was born, this line was pulled up. 2 years after I was born, they removed that one bridge over top of the CSX track. Circle Creek Spur, which is still active to this day. Okay. There might be some railroad ties up here still. I think there is. But down there's the lower track that I started my video on, and just off in the distance is the active Dumbley Creek branch line. That's where the Dumbley Creek branch line and the Circle Creek Spur split up, and the active, and then the Bennett part of the Dumbley Creek branch line goes on. Which I got earlier videos of that. But that one where I followed the abandoned stretch and come out where the train was crossing what used to be the switch, going up the Circle Creek Spur. It's an interesting video because I'm down the abandoned line. Here comes the train. I managed to make it in time to see the train. So that made an interesting video. Ouch! Yes, I'm in the middle of town, so I don't have to worry about hunting. Yep, there's the lower track. This part was still used too, up through the early 80s for car stores. And I guess CSX decided to quit using it. Part of the White Oak Railway and the Glenn Canal Railroad. There's a lot of Fallen Flock railroads, because Chesapeake, Ohio became Ceci's system. Ceci's system became CSX. Virginia Pacific ran through here too, even though they ran waterways of White Oak Railway and Glenn Canal Railway. It's interesting because even Virginia Pacific, which is another Fallen Flock railroad, I'm beginning to wonder. I'm wondering about Norfolk Southern. I've been selling a lot of lines to different companies, but they're still active rail line. They're not Fallen Flock. As of the time of doing this video, Norfolk Southern is not a Fallen Flock railroad. They sell a lot here in West Virginia, Canal River Railway. I think other states have been selling at least other rail lines too. There's Dan's Quick Stop. So with them, I don't know what's going on. Okay, this is as far as I can go because I cannot get to that bus. Oh well, plan B. I did this last time I was here. I climbed up through there. Honestly, I think it'd be easier to go back the way I came. Maybe. Ironically, last time I was here was about a year ago. And there's some rotten railroad ties. Now I can get out through here. Make it interesting, just randomly pop out in a random spot in the middle of Mount Hope. Yep. In somebody's backyard. Yeah. Oh, there. I'm well known in this town, so everybody pretty much knows me. It'll be one of those things where they'll be wondering what in the world. No good, I'm not in somebody's backyard. I will maneuver to a vacant lot here where some houses used to be, because I wanted to just randomly pop out in a random guy's backyard. Although if I would do that, they probably just look at me and like, Walter, what on earth are you doing? I'm like, well, you see, and then I explain to them about rail line, they're like, whatever. I think I'm getting in the video here.